the next Congress.
Any comment on the tweet that Clay Higgins put out today about Haitians?
I heard about that on the floor just now as well. Clay Higgins is a dear friend of mine and a colleague from Louisiana, and a very frank and outspoken person. He's also a very principled man. And I think he tweeted, I didn't even see it, but he tweeted something today about Haitians, and he was approached
by January 20th.
Okay. Well, look, he was approached on the floor by colleagues who said that was offensive. He went to the back. I just talked to him about it. He said he went to the back and he prayed about it and he regretted it and he pulled the post down. That's what you want a gentleman to do. I'm sure he probably regrets some of the language he used, but we move forward. We believe in redemption around here.
Speaker Mike Johnson's blowing off this blatantly racist post from fellow Louisianan Representative Clay Higgins because he knows his heart.
This is what he posted on social media. Quoting the congressman now, LOL, these Haitians are wild, eating pets, voodoo, nastiest country in the Western Hemisphere, cults, slapstick gangsters. But damned if they don't feel all sophisticated now, filing charges against our president and VP. All these thugs better get their mind right and their ass out of our country before January 20th.
Sure, Clay Higgins went to the corner of the chamber, prayed about his ugly bigotry, and then Johnson accepts it, not because he gives a damn, but so that you guys can stop asking him these nonsense questions about a Republican promoting more hate and violence. In fact, Higgins regretted it so much, he said this after Johnson finished shielding him. It's all true. I can put up another controversial post tomorrow if you want me to. I mean, we do have freedom of speech. I'll say what I want. It's not a big deal to me. It's like something stuck to the bottom of my boot. Just scrape it off and move on with my life. So F you guys in your opposition to my racism. Haven't heard yet if Johnson thinks the rhetoric should be toned down after Springfield has been bombarded with bomb threats and hate groups, because apparently those types of expectations are only available to help Trump. Isn't it about time we stop acting like this entire MAGA campaign is not built off of outright racism? Because we usually wait for someone to tweet or say a slur before we collectively agree that the person who's always been a racist is now apparently a racist. All the defenders of this disgusting language came out with their full-throated arguments so everyone knows whose side they're on.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Louisiana seek recognition?
Well, first of all, the tweet has been deleted already and removed, but I object to the motion. And if we want to go through every comment tweet from the other side, we'll be happy to do it.
Gentleman has not been recognized.
Steve Scalise cares more about the condemnation than the actions of his best friend. You know, for a party that likes to wag their finger at Americans about personal responsibility, they never seem to practice it themselves. But whining and crying about protecting their hatred, that ain't working.
I am submitting by resolution a motion to censure Representative Clay Higgins for violating Rule 9 by bringing discredit and disgrace to the House of Representatives. And I would hope that every member of this body understands that no person, particularly those who contribute to communities, who are entrepreneurial, who give to our communities by being nurses and first responders and teachers, that those individuals, those children, no longer have to live in fear or intimidation because of any words or posts that come from members of this body. That it is time to end hate and the rhetoric of hate, and that it is not becoming on any member to continue to push this type of rhetoric on any platform, let alone from the House of Representatives.
Representative Horsford is the Congressional Black Caucus chair that confronted Higgins on the floor over that post, which he obviously blew off with his boot comment. Since this party is completely fueled by racism, they're back to not even trying to hide it. Nancy Mace's career wasn't moving fast enough when she was criticizing Trump, so she's decided to adopt his language about migrants too.
Just last week, Harris, 158 Democrats voted against my bill, the Violence Against Women by Illegal Aliens Act, that would deport these criminal illegal aliens who are raping our women, who are pedophiles, and who are murdering our women and girls, just as you cited in Nantucket and other places. Every town has become a border town. Every state has become a border state.
Illegal Haitian migrants taking over a beautiful place. It was so beautiful. Can you imagine? You have this small little community. All of a sudden you have 20,000 illegals in your community. Nobody knows where they come from. I'm angry about young American girls being raped and sodomized and murdered by savage criminal aliens.
The fealty and desperation to be in the inner circle of MAGA is pretty pathetic. And obviously it requires you to adopt the same divisive language that the leader uses. So this is how hate groups multiply. If enough like-minded people make you feel comfortable spewing this, you take it and run with spreading that hate speech. And Higgins is no stranger to saying stupid shit to protect Trump.
Let me say regarding Jack Smith and his request for another list of American citizens under some alleged legitimate investigative effort, I consider it a badge of honor to be on another one of Jack Smith's list. So I just say that his days are numbered, and American patriots are not going to stand idly by, good sir, and allow our republic to dissolve. We are prepared to fight legally and peacefully and within the parameters of the Constitution, with every ounce of our might and focus. The leftists will not take our country from us.
Jack Smith's days are numbered. Just a little more of that toned-down rhetoric that Republicans say that they bathe in, while Democrats apparently disparage them by highlighting Trump's promises of fascism. Higgins is the same guy that fully believes January 6th was staged by the FBI, who inserted insurrectionists that Trump has oddly promised to pardon and release from prison. It never has to make sense. It just has to be floated to free him from any and all accountability for his actions.
If you are asking whether the violence at the Capitol on January 6th was part of some operation orchestrated by FBI sources and/or agents, the answer is emphatically
You're saying
not.
no?
No.
You're saying no?
Not
Okay.
violence orchestrated by FBI sources or agents.
Are you familiar with you know what a ghost vehicle is? Director of the FBI certainly should. You know what a ghost bus is?
A ghost bus?
Ghost bus.
I'm not sure I've used that term before.
Okay. Well, it's pretty common in law enforcement. It's a vehicle that's used for secret purposes. It's painted over. These two buses in the middle here, they were the first to arrive at Union Station on January 6th, 0500. I have all this evidence. I'm showing you a tip of this iceberg.
Mr. Chairman.
These two buses are painted completely white.
Point of order.
This is a very significant hearing, Mr. Chairman, and these buses are nefarious in nature and were filled with FBI informants dressed as Trump supporters and deployed onto our Capitol on January 6th. Your day is coming, Mr. Ray.
So you believe that those buses held undercover officers, not informants, correct?
I feel very, very confident that everybody that was on those two buses were FBI assets. And I have a high degree of belief that they were actual FBI agents. And I'm sorry to say, ma'am, my objective conclusion is that senior officials at the FBI were deeply involved there. Like the agents inserted and say that in the Proud Boys groups that were going to come to D.C., those are most probably actual FBI agents.